So the concept that we learned is a few basic points like definitions, like what is event, and we learned about the event handler, and we discussed about the synthetic events, that is actually base. What is that synthetic event space? Synthetic event base means it is the base class from where all the events are derived. That means all React events are derived from a base. So that is synthetic event. They are all derived from that synthetic event. So we have event handlers. We learned various ways of writing event handlers. And we discussed about how do we manage event arguments, how to pass default arguments, how to pass custom arguments, how to pass both default and custom arguments. These basic things we discuss, right? So default arguments we can configure using an event argument. Through that we can access both object element related details as well as event. And custom, can we pass both? Yes, we can pass both default arguments as well as custom arguments. In event arguments you have default arguments and we have custom arguments. These are the arguments we learn. Now next, after understanding this, now we need to know about the different events here. So what are the various events and how do we manage different events? Yeah, online people, please wait few seconds. Yeah, can you turn on that once on off button? You push that button. And then there you have a switch once. No? Ah, It's okay. It's coming. I think. Yep. So we have seen how do we pass event arguments, that is default arguments as well as custom arguments. Next important, now we need to know about different types of synthetic events. So we need to learn about various synthetic events, different types of synthetic events and how to manage different types of synthetic events. What are the various synthetic events available? Actually, they are all your JavaScript events. Whatever you learned in JavaScript, you can implement them directly here. Like you have mouse events. Generally, in mouse events, you have, I will give you a list. We have keyboard events, we have button events, so we have clipboard events, clipboard events, and we have form events. We have like touch events. So we have like timer events. We have element state events. These are all different categories of events. Like that, you have so many types of events. Actually, JavaScript provides hundreds of events. So those events you can use in React also. So people who are dealing with React and JavaScript like concepts, it is not same set of events every domain. For example, JavaScript is used in mobile development, means we can develop mobile apps using JavaScript. When we are developing mobile apps using JavaScript, some extra frameworks are added. For example, you have like Cordova Apache. This is Apache Cordova. It is a library and a framework combination. It allows you to build mobile apps with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. When people are using JavaScript with this kind of domain like mobile apps, they will use some extra events. They have some additional events because mobile like devices support some additional events like gesture controls. Gesture control means you just move your hand or you just rotate the device. Rotate the device already you can do by using media queries and all. But gesture controls like you just showed a hand, it opens the camera. You double tap, it opens camera like that. All these things are additional events which you cannot implement everywhere. That means, can I handle these gesture events in my laptop or desktop? It's not possible. That means those events are present, but they can be used in only certain domains, certain apps. So, like that, JavaScript have hundreds of events which you may not use everywhere. Generally, to build traditional single page applications, web applications, we use some events. When you are changing to domain, you know JavaScript is also used in gaming, right? When it is used in gaming, then again some more additional events will come. those you cannot use everywhere. You can use only in that gaming environment. Like that, JavaScript have hundreds of events. Those events are categorized into several, like mouse, keyboard, clipboard, and all these events. If you learned these in JavaScript, so what examples you tried through JavaScript, the same you can now replicate by using React. So whatever designs, whatever options you created, you can implement them here. For example, let's see, I will give one example here, how to handle that. So for example, let's say mouse events. So mouse events. One example I will give, because these are general things which you usually use in JavaScript also. So mouse events, I hope you people know, we have events like on, mouse over. So we have on, mouse out, on, mouse down, and on, mouse up, and on, mouse move. These are mouse events. These are mouse related events like mouse over, mouse out, mouse down, mouse up, mouse move. How you used in your JavaScript, their event arguments, their functionalities, everything will be similar. So what is mouse over? It indicates the actions to perform when mouse pointer is over an element. Mouse out, when it comes out of that element. Mouse down, when user hold down the button on a element. When release, that is up. When user is continuously moving the mouse, that is mouse move. For example, let's see here. Suppose we have like some Flipkart. Suppose we are having some mobiles, and we select some mobile. So when we choose these mobile related details, any mobile related information, for example, suppose we say this Samsung or something. Okay. And this is the mobile related information. And you see here, left side, there is a preview of that mobile. Some thumbnails are there. And when I move the mouse onto that, then automatically that preview will come right. That means it will not wait until you click. That means when mouse over, that image will come here. This is mouse over event. Mouse over, on mouse over, what action to perform. So this is mouse over, means it is changing those images. It's simple to design, you know. Let's design this. So I will capture some images. So this is the first image we are having. Yeah. I will capture some images. Okay. This is image one. So let's save this. We need to save this in our project location, that is React project. In that public, in the public directly we can save as M1, that is suppose. Okay. Let's take another one, and I am copying this, and this is the second image. Let's keep this as M2. So just two, three images. Let me copy them. Yeah. Others you can try in the similar way. Oh, this is the third one. So I'm capturing these images. Okay, we have three images here. Let's create that interface like that. Means what should happen on mouse over, we need to change the image. So this is M3. Fine. You can do anything here. So like suppose where do we maintain these images? For example, let's say add a component here. I will go to the component and mouse demo. Okay, and we have mouse demo.jsx. So in this we are configuring export function mouse demo and return a simple container in this container fluid, and here we will add two divs. Actually this is class name as row. In this we have a now. We will keep class as call2, and we have another main, and this have a class name as call10. That's how we configured. Now left side I want the preview of images. Now where usually we keep images, generally we can define image. What we can do, we will maintain a separate JSON file. That means I will add a new file, that is images or say some pics.json. It's a pics.json. Okay, in this pics.json it is an array of objects, and here it is having a property called image URL. Image URL is the property. And what is that image? That property have some image. That image is in m1.jpg. That's the image URL we are having. So similarly, we have some images. Another image URL m2.jpg. Another is m3.jpg. Okay. Now these we need to access and use here. So we will create a constant. So this is pics, and set pics is equal to use state, and it is an array of objects. It's an array of objects. We are just expecting some array of objects, and actually this array of objects, currently you see this pics is an object type array, and what is this object type is it can have any type. You can even make it strongly typed. Strongly typed means accidentally or intentionally any another field name if they mention, it should not work. It should show error. In that case we can make it strongly typed just by using here image URL. Image URL is the property, and what is its type? It is a string type. That means this image URL that we have in the JSON file, in the pics JSON file, so image URL is in lowercase. I will use image URL. It is a string type. Now what happens is, now this pics is expecting object with a property called image URL. Now, how do we fetch the data? That you can do simply on load of component. That means we have to use effect. Use effect indicates the action to perform when component loads. That what we call as component mount. And how to fetch data? We learned a third party Axios. We will use Axios dot what get. I showed you three methods. One is by using XML HTTP, another one fetch, another one jQuery JSON, and this one is Axios third party. Axios get from which location? Get from, so that is pix dot what JSON dot, then if it is successful, get the response, and this response should set in pix. Set pix response dot data, whatever data you collected through response. That means now all the information is loaded into pix. We will display those pix here. So we need to display the pix here. So how do we configure the pix? Just we have to use pix dot map. We need to read every pic, and for every pic we will create a div. We'll keep a div. This div will have a key. The key is pic dot image URL, and this div is having some width. We will keep some style. Style we have to configure width. So width is suppose 100 pixel. Some small, let's say 100%. Okay. And we have height. Height as some 50 pixel. Okay. And in this actually better we can keep this same into image. Here we need the image. And what is the image URL? So that means image have a src. Image src is dynamically coming from pic dot image URL. So that is the option. So width is 100% and the height is 50. That's how we are configuring. That is all the images we are displaying in a div. And of course, for this div, I can put a class margin top 3, margin bottom 3, something like this. Let's keep this mouse demo in the startup. So here we are defining mouse demo. Mouse demo is in the startup. So let's run this and see here. So left side we kept the images thumbnails. Those images are there. We will change certain size for them. Let's say width is suppose 50%, 50% width of the div. Then they will be short like this. So I think 60 is enough. Fine. Now this is the image you are having. That's the images we are having. And when mouse is over, that image preview should come right side, right? Then how do we manage? So usually when mouse is over, that image should come there. Actually this image can have a border. So as some one or two border we are giving, so that images have a border. Through style you can apply color for border and all these things. Fine. Now here what we are doing, mouse over, their preview should come right side. So right side here in the main area we keep an image. We keep an image. This image is having some width as some 300 and height is some 400. Right side you have an image like this. It is some 300, 400 images present here. I will keep this as a normal div instead of main, so that it can keep it in this way. That's enough. So margin top 4. Okay, that will be little down. That's fine. Now what should happen here is when user moves the mouse, this image should be changing. And when user mouse moves the mouse where? The mouse on this IMG. That means when user is moving the mouse on these images, their source should be applied to them. That means on mouse over, how to collect the source of this image. So what is the event? Event is what? On mouse over. On mouse over. How you will send the SRC of this image? You can send the SRC or collect the SRC by using E dot target dot SRC. That is element related properties. Element related properties you can access through an event argument. Event argument have directly access to events, and object related properties you can access using target. That means what should be the source of this image? That image source should come from this target, and we need to apply that. So what we have to do is, when mouse is over, we have to set this image. That means I will declare a constant called active image and set active image. Active image. We are setting an active image. And use state, that is actually a string. Now we will write function for mouse over. That means function handle mouse over. How to collect default argument? Through an event argument E. Already we discussed this is just a formal parameter. You can give it as X, Y, Z, A, B, C, anything, right? But it holds event related details and object related details. It can be anything. It is a formal parameter. You can keep anything. Okay, on hover, what should be set active image? It will be E dot, what it is? Target dot SRC. And this active image, this mouse over should work for this image. That means on mouse over, on mouse over, on mouse over, right? On mouse over, handle mouse over, and it will get the image source. That image source we need to apply here. That means the SRC here comes from active image. That will come from active image. If you want, you can put one default active image. What is the default active image? M1.jpg. That means that will be used as default active image, because I don't want any empty. And when mouse is over, then it will display this one. On over, this one. It is changing them. And of course, you know how to highlight on mouse over, right? That is general thing. Usually, how to highlight on mouse over, you have to put a CSS. If you want to add some styles on mouse over, you have to put CSS. So what we will do here, I will add a file called mouse demo.css. In nav, wherever div is present. So in nav, wherever image is present, am I right? Image is present. For this, we will put a border as actually what? 2 pixel solid black. Then I generally another option, and in nav We will do one thing. We will not put any border directly, just border 1 pixel only we will give. And in nav on image colon hover class is present. You know hover. It indicates when mouse is over. Then the border should turn to 2 pixel solid blue color, and the cursor should turn to grab. We will change the cursor also as hand symbol or something. Now this must be used in our component. So here we have to import. So import, that is mouse demo dot what css dot slash. Okay, it is in the same folder. Now that is mouse demo dot css. That means you have a border on mouse over, it will show blue. That means we are applying the effect and we are displaying on that. That means the actions to perform when mouse pointer is over an element. That's a example of simple how to implement the mouse over effect. Right? So you can do a lot of things. You can add animations. You can use keyframes. You know keyframes. You can implement keyframes. You can even control animations. For example, mark Q is scrolling. When mouse is over, you can make it stop. Again, mouse out, you can make it resume. All these basic things are done by using these mouse events. So this is a simple example of mouse over. Mouse over. Suppose on mouse down and mouse up, you want to control the height, width, or animation or effect like such things. Usually you can change that. That means this is mouse over. What is mouse down, mouse up means? When you move the mouse onto it and hold down, then we can display some content inside this. That means we can show some information. For example, suppose in this location, we are having image. This image source is some active image. And the active image is displaying some image. Now what we will do is, let's copy another image which is related to some offer. So suppose this is the mobiles category we saw, and this is related to some Samsung, right? I will snipe this here. Now let's take a new picture. Let's add this image, just this image. So I will save this, some sale. Okay, and what I want here is in our project public sale.jpg. Okay, what we want here is when mouse is over, image is changing, and when I hold down the button, I should see the offer. What is that offer? Sale. Hold down. That means I will put a simple paragraph here. So just a paragraph. So hold down mouse button to view offers, something like this. You can add so many things there. Hold down mouse button to view offers. Now when user hold down the mouse button here, what we have to do? That means on mouse down, on mouse down, handle mouse down, something. And what it should do? So handle mouse down, we have a function handle mouse down E. So this will be, you don't need any E directly. You need set active image to, it's a string. We will put an offer dot what? JPG, offer a sale. sale.jpg. That means we are changing on mouse down. That means when user mouse down, this image will come. And I release, then again normal should come. Again normal should come. Again normal should come means we have to write another event. What is it? Mouse out. So function, so handle, mouse out. So mouse out. So mouse out. Mouse up, actually mouse up. We need to again get that image and display the image, right? That means just we have to use set active image. Set active image. What is it? So set active image. Here we need to get the image. I will just give as another one what it is, m1 dot what, jpg. Just you can try various things. I am using just another option, another event. What it is, mouse up. On mouse up, what should happen? It should get that. So handle, mouse up. That's the functionality. That means you mouse down. So mouse down, it will display. Mouse up, it will be normal. That's just an option of how we can display image. Usually we have a lot of other techniques to implement. Means when mouse down, you can make it zoom. When mouse is moving, we can make it appear with some effects. Actually, you see Flipkart, all people use a plugin. They use some jQuery plugins which are used for zooming the image area when mouse is over that area. That's not code, that is a plugin. Usually they use such zoom plugins and add them so that they have predefined animation. On mouse over we can manage. Of course, we can also control like that. So how do we control? Let me copy this example for you. So this is an example, that is mouse demo dot what, JSX. And before that, so we have mouse demo dot CSS. In that CSS, just we added some CSS. We are adding some styles. That's what we are configuring. We are just doing this. We have another option like mouse move. When mouse is moving, we can perform certain functionality. Style binding, class binding, all these things we can implement now. That means, for example, suppose when user is moving the mouse, right? For example, suppose when user moves the mouse onto that camera, then it should show its details, how much pixel that camera is. And user moves the mouse onto the panel, then it should say features about that panel. That says some ceramic panel. And when user moves the mouse on the camera, it should say how many pixel that camera is. So how do you know exactly mouse is there? That means we need to identify its position while mouse is moving. Mouse is continuously moving from one place to another place. We need to identify the position. If we can identify the position where it is, you can get that by using client X and client Y. That will get the position of X and Y. So then you can control actions. Let's see another one. These are generally related to mouse out and mouse. A mouse over, mouse out, mouse down, mouse up. For example, you want mouse. So here we will see another one. Let's say this is another. I will clean up this. Yep. Let me copy some image here. This is all cleaned up. It's an empty. Okay. Now here we have this div. This div is having a style. The style is height. So height we will keep as some 1000 pixel. Below that we will keep an image. This image is width some 50 and height as 50. Image width and height we are having. So here we will put a paragraph, move mouse pointer to test, like this. I'm just giving. Just here we have another, this is image enough, fine. Now this image, let's keep some image. So into our project public folder, I'm copying some image. We have some images. I will copy this flag and I will put it here. Okay. And here I'm just giving an image source. Actually, this image source is sale.jpg. Okay. And this image source is some flag.gif. It's a GIF file. And you can see this is the image we are having. Actually, another image is present at the bottom. GIF file. It is a GIF file. It is a simple animated GIF file. I kept the div 1000 pixel height so that you cannot see what is bottom. Whenever page is open, you cannot see what is in the bottom. Now what I need to do is that flag that you have and the mouse is here. I want this flag position to be at the mouse position. That means I want to keep the flag along with the mouse. And when mouse is moving, that flag should move along with the mouse. That means while mouse is moving, we need to identify. So where the position is, x-axis and y. That position should be applied for this flag. That means how you will remove an image from its place. In CSS, for that we have to use position. Position is what? Position is either fixed or you can use position as what? Absolute. Because you know in CSS these are the two positions which remove element from its place, not static or sticky positions. So we have a position absolute or position fixed. And how you can place along x-axis, y-axis, they have attributes left. Left is for x and we have top, that is for y-axis. So what we will do now is we will create here, let's go and create here a constant. We learned how to apply inline styles. Inline styles, we will use a style object. Set style object and use state. This style object is actually an object. This object contains, because it is in React, you have to write the styles like an object. What is the key? Key is what? Position. Position. Position is as of now empty. Nothing is there. What is another one? Top. Top is also empty. What is another one? Left. Left is also empty. These are the three values we are configuring. Now what happens is when user is moving the mouse on this main div, that means here we write an event on mouse move. So handle mouse move, that is the function. Let's write the function. So function handle mouse move. How do you get the position of mouse? By using an event argument. Now what is the style object? Set style object. In that, what should be the position? Position should be fixed. Fixed position will remove element from its place. After that, what should be the left? Left must be e dot client x, means it will get the x-axis position of mouse, and plus pixels, because x-axis position is a number and CSS needs a units, that is pixels. Okay. Next, top is what? E dot client y plus what? Pixels. Okay. That means the style object is changing continuously when mouse is moving. When mouse is moving, the position of mouse is collected and it is applied to style object. This style object must be used by this image. That means how do we apply inline style? Style binding. We have to write in style and it is expecting what? Style object. It is expecting style object. And now what happens here? When I move the mouse, it will move along with it. That means this image is moving along with the mouse pointer. With the mouse point. That means actually its position is somewhere bottom. Now what we have done, we removed its position and we are updating the position continuously when mouse is moving. We are updating the position when mouse is moving. Right? So that is usually done by using this technique. Right? So you have to handle this concept. That is one example. This is related to mouse event. Another one. This first example is related to mouse over, out, down, and up. These are related to that. And the second one is another example is this is related to mouse move. Mouse move. So same mouse demo dot what JSX. Okay. I will give you one task. You try. I will give a simple task. You try. The task is nothing but a simple basic one related to mouse. What is the task is? So actually this is your component. So you have your component and in this component you have to keep a button, right? On this button you just say some show. Okay. Then what happens is when user clicks on show, some container should open, a container should display. So that means this container, actually a box, alert like or some box you keep, means a div. That means this is a container. What should happen is on show click, what should happen? Container should display. Container must display. Means by default container is hidden. So default container is hidden. It is not shown. On show click it should display. And important is, so click outside container, so must close. That means when user clicks outside this container anywhere, it should close. That means it should hide. Close means hide. It should close. That means what it has to do, so it should hide again. Hide again. That's what generally you see. We, do you know the technical term for that? When you click outside, it closes. What is that? Backdrop. We call it as backdrop. That means elements have a backdrop mechanism. If you have learned Bootstrap, in Bootstrap models will be there. Models will have a backdrop. Backdrop means click outside, they will be closed. Right? How they know that you clicked outside? That means they know where you clicked, the positions. You try this one. That means on button click, the container should show. And to close the container, you can just click outside. And when clicked outside anywhere in the container, it should hidden. Again, click, it should display. Yesterday we learned some technical issues how to resolve also, right? What are the technical issues? How to resolve? We discussed about stop propagation, am I right? Propagation, and we discussed about prevent default, all these things we learned. If any such issues are coming, you have to handle them by using this mechanism. Because if parent is having event, child is also having an event, then it will handle that. So this is the task you try to do, right? This just I will upload this diagram. So mouse task react. I will upload this just roughly. You try this. That means you must able to handle by using mouse events. Mouse events. You try that. So these are basically used mouse related events. Mouse related events. Actually, in modern applications, what we do is instead of mouse, we use touch, because mouse pointer is not available on touch devices. The same thing what you done with this can be done with touch. We can do that with touch. But the touch can be handled by using only touch device. Those events will work only on touch. That means actually you also have a concept of touch events. Touch events. Touch events, so they are similar to mouse events, but can handle functionality, but can handle functionality. So using touch, using touch events, touch handler, we call it as touch handler. Using touch handler, it identifies, it identifies the location where user is touching on screen, where user is touching on screen, right? That is what actually touch option is. So we have options. You can test only on touch device. You can test only on device that support touch. You cannot test these everywhere, right? So we have options like same. So on touch start, we have like on touch end, we have like on touch move. Like this, we have different events. We have touch start, touch end, touch move, like that. So these are related to touch. So how do we handle the events and work with the events? So those are touch events. same like mouse, but here one separate point is some event arguments are different from others. For example, almost all events have similar properties, client X, client Y, and all these things. But touch events, which are related to some sensors and all, they have some different arguments. What as a developer you have to do? You have to log the event arguments and verify what event arguments it is having, what type they are having. If you are using a special event, if you are using a special event which you never used till now, then how do you know what properties it contains? Then you have to log and you have to verify, because touch events have different properties. Means all are not same. For example, let's say, suppose here I will add another option. Yeah, here we are defining, so touch start and all these things. Let's put here a simple image is there, image, and image source we have some m1.jpg. So width and height. Okay, that's the width and height we are having. That's the image we are having. And when user touch the image, so when user touch the image, that image should display some details, like some offer or something, what its price or something it should display. That means what I need to do is here I need to keep a heading. In this I want to show the price. When user touched it, it should display that. So then how do you manage? How do you know on touch? So usually we have events like on touch start. We have like on touch start. These are mostly used by people who are developing apps for mobiles, right? Mobiles and smart devices, Android, iOS. Because see, what many people misunderstand and they don't have a clarity is, whenever people join React course, they ask like, will you teach React Native? React Native is used for building mobile apps, and for that you need to have prior knowledge of Android and iOS. Without that, how you will build mobile apps? And they think that React is building mobile apps. What is React? It is a library to build an interactive UI, right? That means you can build good interactive UI for mobile apps, but mobile app is built using Android iOS. That means React Native will not teach you Android iOS. That's where people confuse. They don't know at all first. That means simply React Native. They think that we can build mobile apps using React Native. No, it's just a library. It is a library for building the mobile apps. It's a library for building the mobile apps. So when they are using that library, they have to use lot of additional events, as I told. And those events have different types of functionalities, event arguments. Observe here, suppose touch, handle touch. Okay, we will write a function that is handle touch, E. As you learnt already, E has having target and E is having directly event arguments. But see now here, I will log console.log E. That means we are just logging that and inspect, and let's go to the console, and here you can see I just touch this now, it will get you these options. You can see the E is synthetic base event, and what is the event here is, it is a, so React name is on touch start. It is on touch start. That is the React name. The synthetic event name is that different. You know that. And you see target is image. You observe here, it is returning all these details. And actually, this is not having like client X, client Y. It is not having the client X, client Y directly here. It is having different set of properties because it's a different event. All event will not have the same. Few properties will be similar, others will be changed. So you have to identify. You need to explore them and you need to see. So here target is IMG. IMG have all the image related properties. Image related properties we can get by using this target. And see target have touches. In that touch, you have client X, client Y. Client X, client Y. That means directly, generally, if you are using mouse event, you can access E dot client X. But when you are using touch event, how do we access E dot target touches? In target touches at 0 dot what? Client X. That's how we need to access. Because at 0 index, there is a touch. Touch have these properties. That means all events are not having same type of properties and similar. So you need to explore when you are working with special events which you never worked, right? Then you have to first explore. You should know what attributes it is having, and that you have to implement, right? So if you think that all will have same type of properties, that then it will fail in different occasions because all events don't have same. Right now, how do we display some information when user touches that? Then what you can do here on touch, we want to display some information. That means what we will do here. So I will put constant msg message set msg use state, and it is a string. It's an empty string. That message we will display here. MSG is displayed here. So now when user touches, I want to display some message in that. Then what we have to do? No need of this E. Then we have to use what? Set MSG here. So that is some offer price. So some offer price we are displaying like this. So 39. So 999. Something like this we are displaying. Now what we have to do is, so ampersand hash 8377 semicolon. Yeah. Now when user touches that, when user touches, that price will display there. I think this is not displaying. We need to convert into which one? Currency. Because it is just a string, right? When user touches this, it should get that and display. That means you are accessing and displaying those value when user touches. Remember, here mouse is not working. It is empty. I am clicking through mouse. It's not working. That means I have to use my touch screen. Through my touch screen, I am touching it. Then it will get that and display. That means I am using my touch device and I am clicking on it, touching on that. Then it will access. Now you put different images. When user touch, that image can change. That means same like how you use the mouse over. Now you can use what? Touch. Because if it is watched on any touch device, when user touch, it should change. It should display some data that you can manage by using touch events. So this is an example of touch event. I will give you another. This is like touch demo dot what JSX. You, I am just giving in the same location. This you change as touch demo. Okay, that's changed. Now I will give you one challenging task you try to do. It's a very challenging one. If you can do it, that's very, very good. That means you are very perfect in events. You try to do that. That means what you have to do is here, you need to design two tasks I'm giving. I given one task previously related to mouse, and another one is it is little bit challenging, but you can try. What you have to do is you design a screen here, and in this screen, so at the bottom, so there will be a pointer like this. That means there will be a arrow like this, and here you will have some text like slide to unlock, slide to unlock, right? Now what should happen is when this arrow moves from here to here, right? That means how it can move from there to there. We can use a touch event. By using touch event, you can move, touch move, just like mouse move. There is an event called touch move. When it reaches this point, then what should happen? It should unlock. Unlock means it should hide this and it should display a message phone unlocked. That means it should display simple message as unlocked, unlocked. And this should not display anymore. That means this area should be hidden. So it should be hidden on unlock. It should be hidden on unlock. And this must be display on unlock. That means this should display on unlock. Unlock. That should display on unlock. Can you try? It's not easy. It's a very challenging one. Right? It's a very challenging one. If you can try, then very good. That means you have to write a mouse, touch, move event. Touch, move event. Touch move event will identify the position of the arrow along x-axis. You know the dimensions of your container. Then when it reaches certain x position, that means it reaches end. That x position when it reaches, then it should show unlock. Is it possible to move an object from one place to another place on screen? It is possible. It is always possible. How? I showed you already mouse event now. Mouse move. When mouse is moving, object is moving. Right? For example, suppose if say, is it possible to do that? That means, for example, you see you have an image source. This is sale.jpg. So this is an image, that sale jpg image. If I want to move to my touch here, through touch I want to move, then you have to use an event. What it on touch move. You have to use touch move. So handle touch move. And here we are writing a function. So handle touch move e. So have you observed? So I will use here console.log e dot touches na target touches of 0. Through this we can access what? Client exposition. Client exposition. That means what happens is when it is moving, then you can define this. That means actually this is the position. While it is moving, we can get the position and display the position. That means when it is moving, you can display the position. You can see it is moving. This position must be applied to the image. That means what we have to do, a constant set position, uh, get position, and set position, and use state, and you are creating an object. What it is? So object contains position, and here, so object contains left. Position and left, two values are defined. This I am going to apply here. What it is? Style. Style comes from position. And on move, what should happen? On move, we have to use set position. Set position is expecting here. Position. Position is what? Absolute position I am giving. And the left is coming from where? So E dot plus what? Pixels. That's what we are defining. I just given you a rough point here, right? That means what happens here? I just given an idea. When you are moving this, it will move along with it. That means through touch, I am able to move it along x axis, y axis. I am able to move it. We are moving along x and y through touch. Along only x only, I am moving it, right? Through touch, I am moving it. Now, what you need to do is you have to implement that example by using this mechanism. Can you try that? If you can do, that's good, very good, right? So these are mouse events. Another one, touch. We have keyboard, button, and other events. With them, some examples we will see tomorrow, right? In tomorrow's session, we will discuss other examples. By tomorrow, we will finish all the events concept. Then we will go into some real-time project design, like some application design with all these events, so that we can get an idea where to implement different types of events. We will see that, right? Tomorrow we'll continue. Yeah, the new classroom code we will share on Tuesday. Our admins are creating that, and once they confirm that they checked and everything, and they will share Tuesday the classroom code. You can get it on Tuesday.